All battle stations manned and ready, Captain.
Give me that flanger. All right. Who did it? You're going to stay here all night till somebody confesses. It's an insult to the honor of this ship. I'm going to find out who threw that palm tree overboard if it takes all night. Let me see that rotten
Stefanowski, find some battle station, will you?
Look, the palm tree's gone. What do you know?
Roberts, he's the one. Get him up here. Roberts, you get up here in a hurry. I'm giving you an order.
Here he comes.
Mr. Roberts, if you remember where my
Father.
Did you want to see me, Captain? You did it. Don't lie to me. You double-crossed me. You've gone back on your word.
Oh, no, I haven't, Captain.
Yes, you have. I kept my part of the bargain. I gave this crew liberty, but you've gone back on your word.
You hear that?
Shut
I don't see how you can say that, Captain. I haven't sent in any more letters.
I'm talking about what you did tonight.
Tonight? I don't understand you. What do you think I did?
You know what you did. You stabbed me in the back. You stabbed me in the back. You...
Oh, Captain Joe at the wash basin, quick. What happened? What?
Will the doctor please report to the captain's cabin on the double?
Gangway.
Hey, Doc, tell us what's going on, huh?
Okay.
Hey, Stefanowski, you can see in the porthole what's happening.
We got him on a couch.
What's the doc doing?
Holding the wastebasket. Look out. Here he comes.
Howdy. That's the word to the crew to secure from general quarters.
And tell the men to be quiet. The captain's resting nicely now, and I think that's desirable.
Sure. Well, guess I'd better get back inside. Good night, Mr. Roberts.
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 Huh? Oh, good night, Dolan.
Now hear this. C, E, and S divisions and all pharmacists' mates will air bedding today. Positively. There is now available at the ship's store a small supply of peanut brittle. Ship's store will be open from 1300 to 1315.
Okay, Mr. Roberts. That puts your sea bag at the gangway. Boat from the island will be out any minute.
Thanks, Manny.
That's okay, Mr. Roberts. Never thought you'd be taking this ride, did you?
Oh, Doc. I'm going to be off this bucket before I even wake up.
Yeah, are they flying you all the way to the Livingston?
The dispatch said I was transferred and travel by air if possible. Hey, it'll probably be at Okinawa now.
Okinawa? Gee, you be careful, Doug.
I even get a destroyer. It's too much.
I got your orders, Mr. Roberts. In triplicate. You're now officially detached from this bucket. Let me be the first.
Thanks, Dolan. Say, Dolan, how about these orders? I haven't sent a letter for a month.
You know how the Navy works, Mr. Roberts. You better get cracking. The old man said if you ain't off of here in an hour, he's going to throw you off.
Is that all he said? You'd think after 2 years...
Oh, he's busy as a mother skunk. He sent over to the island, and now he's got 2 palm trees. He already set a 24-hour armed watch over him. Oh, that reminds you, Mr. Pulver. The captain wants to see you right away.
He does. Now, what in places did I do with his laundry last week?
So long, Mr. Roberts.
What do you think of the crew now, Doug?
They're all right. I think they're nice guys, all of them.
Uh-huh. And how do you think they feel about you?
I think they like me all right, till the next guy comes along.
You don't think you're necessary to them?
Oh, no officer's necessary to the crew, Doc.
Are you going to leave this ship believing that?
Well, that's nothing against them. A crew's too busy looking after themselves to care about anyone else.
Well, take a good deep breath, Buster. What do you think got you your orders? Prayer and fasting? Sending in enough Wheatie box tops?
My orders.
This crew got you transferred. They were so busy looking out for themselves that they took a chance of landing in prison for 5 years, any one of them. Since you couldn't send in a letter for transfer, they sent one in for you. Since they knew the captain wouldn't sign it approved, they didn't bother him. They signed it for him.
What do you mean? They forged the captain's name? Which one of them?
They had a contest. Every man on the ship had a crack at it. And the closest to the captain's signature won.
How did you find out about this?
I was a contestant. I was also a judge. Also, my department contributed 4 gallons of grain alcohol to the contest. It was quite a thing to see, Doug. 167 guys with one idea in their heads. to do something for Mr. Roberts.
I wish you hadn't told me that, Doc. I was afraid to say before what I really feel. I love those guys. I think they're the greatest on earth. All of a sudden, I feel there's something awful wrong in leaving them. What can I say to them?
Nothing. You're not supposed to know. I'm supposed to write you on your new ship and tell you. At the bottom, I'm supposed to write, "Thanks for the liberty, Mr. Roberts. Thanks for everything."
Oh, how do you like that? I'm the new cargo officer. And that's not all. I got to have dinner with him tonight. He likes me.
Come in. What's this?
A fire and rescue party, sir. Heard you had a fire in here?
No, but...
False alarm. Happens all the time. Well, we might as well drink the stuff in this fire extinguisher. Hey, pour it, will you, Dolan? Well, let me have your glass, Mr. Roberts. Mr. Roberts, there's a story going around that you're leaving us.
That's right, Insignia, and I...
Well, excuse me. We thought, we ought to give you a little going-away present. Go ahead, Dowdy.
Here, Mr. Roberts.
Go ahead, open it. What is it, Doug? It's a palm tree, see?
It was Dowdy's idea. Stefanowski thought up the words. A Mannion cut it out of sheet brass in the machine shop. Read the words, Mr. Roberts. Go ahead. Order of... You read it, Doug.
Order of the Palm. To Lieutenant J.G. Douglas Roberts, for action against the enemy, above and beyond the call of duty on the night of 8 May, 1945.
Stefanowski thought up the words.
They're fine words.
The boat's here, Mr. Roberts. They want to shove off right away.
Thanks. Well, goodbye, Doc.
Bye, Doug.
And thanks, Doc.
Okay.
Goodbye, Frank.
Goodbye, Doug.
Now remember, I'm counting on you.
Now hear this. Sweepers, man your brooms. Clean sweep down fore and aft. Now hear this. All men put on report today will fall in on the quarterdeck and form 3 ranks. Now hear this. All divisions will draw their mail at 1700 in the mess hall.
Oh, man, got your mail yet? No, I got the palm tree watch. So what's your news, Doc?
My wife got some new wallpaper for the living room.
Mr. Pulver, we'll be finished with the cargo in a few minutes. I just found out what the captain decided. He ain't going to show a movie again tonight.
Why not?
He's still punishing us because he caught Insignia without his shirt on 2 days ago. You got to go in and see him.
I did. I asked him to show a movie yesterday.
Mr. Pulver, what good does that do us today? You got to keep needling that guy, I'm telling you.
Now, don't worry. I'll take care of it in my own way.
Oh, great. No movies again tonight.
Hey, Doc. This letter's from Doug.
Yeah, what does he say?
See, this will be short and sweet as we're shoving off in 10 minutes. This is dated 3 weeks ago. He met Fornell, the guy I went to college with. Listen, I'm in the war at last, Doc. I've caught up with that task force that passed me by. And I'm thinking now of all you guys on that bucket, sailing from tedium to apathy and back again with an occasional side trip to monotony. I discovered, Doc, that the most terrible enemy of this war is the boredom that eventually becomes a faith and therefore a sort of suicide. And I know now that the ones who refuse to surrender to it are the strongest of all. Right now, I'm looking at a hunk of brass hanging over my bunk, attached to the most bilious ribbon I've ever seen. I'd rather have it than the Congressional Medal of Honor. It tells me what I'll always be proudest of. At a time in the world when courage counted most, I lived among 167 brave men. So, Doc, and you, Frank, don't let those guys down. Of course, I know that by this time they must be very happy because the captain's overhead is filled with marbles and, he ends it here. It's signed Doug.
Can I see that, Frank?
Yeah, sure, here. Hey, this next one's from Fornell.
I'd rather have it than the Congressional Medal of... Well, I'm glad he found that out. Hey, Frank, what's the matter?
All done, Mr. Pulver. We
Frank.
secured the hatch cover. No word on a movie, I suppose.
Frank, what is it?
Mr. Roberts is dead. This is from Fornell. They took a jet suicide plane. It killed everyone in the Twin 40 battery, and then it went on through and killed Doug and another officer in the wardroom. They were drinking coffee when it hit.
Mr. Pulver, can I give that letter to the crew?
Yeah. Take Mr. Roberts' letter. It's theirs. Coffee.
Mannion, go down and get your mail. I'll watch your palm trees for you.
You will?
Thanks, Mr. Pulver.
Frank. Frank, you all right? Frank! Frank!
Yeah? Who is it?
Captain, this is Ensign Pulver. I just threw your palm trees overboard. Now, what's all this chicken about no movie tonight?
You have just heard the Best Plays production of Mr. Roberts, starring Arthur Kennedy. And here once more is your host, drama critic John Chapman.
I don't suppose radio listeners cheer much for fear of astonishing the neighbors or waking the baby. But if you feel like it, go ahead. Mr. Roberts is a grand play, and Arthur Kennedy has given a grand performance. He is giving another fine performance on Broadway, too, in Arthur Miller's drama, The Crucible. And now for next week's Best Play. It will be Rachel Crowther's witty comedy drama of manners, Susan and God. Our star will be Judith Evelyn, and with her will be Paul McGrath. This is Chapman saying goodbye until next week.
Mr. Roberts was transcribed and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy, and the cast were Leon Janney as Ensign Pulver, John McGovern as Doc, Wendell Holmes as the Captain, Joe Julian as Dowdy, Josh Shelley as Insignia, Bill Lifton as Mannion, Elaine Ross as the Army nurse, James Stevens as Dolan, Alan Hewitt as the MP, and recreating their original Broadway roles, Rusty Lane as Chief Johnson and Stephen Hill as Stefanowski. Best Plays is an NBC production supervised by William Welch and directed by Edward King. This is Fred Collins speaking. And this is NBC, the national broadcasting company.